Hi, welcome back to my channel. The name is Shukuru. Being a parent is a balance of taking care of your kids and letting them grow up and learn from their mistakes. Parents face many challenges. There are many challenges involved with parenthood. The following five are the most difficult. 1. How to parent the child you have, not the child you wish you had. Often, parents try to parent their kids based on who they think they should be instead of who they are. It can be tough and exhausting to have a child with ADHD or a teen with ODD who's defiant and disrespectful. Or you might simply have a child who's very different from you. Trying to see their side of things becomes a constant and draining battle. You might think, hey, this isn't what I signed up for. Is this what parenthood is supposed to be like? Real grief can emerge when you realize that your child is not who you thought they should be. You might have to give up certain dreams you had for your child's future when you realize that they're not going to take the path you'd hoped they would. Understand, though, that once you let go and accept your child, who your child is, a different kind of love can develop. You'll be able to see them clearly from the person they truly are. I have found that a true acceptance or the true acceptance is one of the most powerful, loving things a parent can give to their child. It's the basis for so many things, including being able to develop and communicate reasonable expectations for appropriate behavior. Old power struggles fall away, which can give you space to nurture new aspects of your relationship. As a bonus, when you accept your child for who they are, they can become better at accepting themselves. Number 2, how to let your child experience the pain of natural consequences. In general, it's not a good idea to try to protect your child from experiencing the consequences of their actions. How will your child learn from their poor choices if you take away the natural consequences of those choices? How will they? We humans learn through trials and errors. It is often the best way to learn. We speed, we get a ticket, and we eventually stop speeding, of course. Your child can't learn this way if you put up a protective fence around them and try to fix things for them. It's helpful to allow your child to struggle. Change happens out of struggle and in moments of accepting responsibility for our actions. It's the parents' job to help their kids through these difficult times, but it's not their job to bear all their burdens for them. This may mean letting your child feel pain and disappointment, of course. You can help them by talking about how they can handle themselves differently next time and teaching them some good coping strategies. By simply letting your child know you are there for them because you love them, you are giving them one of the most important things a parent can ever give. Number 3, how to face judgment, shame, and blame from others. If you have a child who acts out and engages in other challenging behaviors, tantrums, yelling, disobeying you, or being annoying and obnoxious, you've probably gotten the look from friends and strangers alike. You know the one. It says, "What's wrong with you? Why aren't you doing something about your childish behavior?" That look can make you feel like a terrible parent. even if you know you are doing everything you can to raise your child the best way you know. And the truth is, others will probably judge you. It's human nature. If you're in this situation, it's natural to worry about your child disappointing or embarrassing you. It is also natural to worry about how others will react to your child's misbehavior and blame you. But when your child is acting out and you're feeling judged by others, stop and say to yourself, I can't read other people's minds. Indeed, if you try to imagine what others are thinking, 95% of the time you are going to read something negative. That's because whenever we are negative, we interpret other people's perspectives of us as negative too. And in these situations, we don't read people's minds in search of hope. We read them in search of criticism, especially when something is going wrong. So, when you feel yourself trying to guess what your neighbors, your in-laws, or your friends are thinking, tell yourself, I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what they are thinking. Stop the tape that's playing in your mind and move on. This is also part of the process of learning how to engage in positive self-talk, or talking to yourself in a way that promotes calmness and hope rather than panic. Number 4, coping with when your child says, I hate you, mom, or I hate you, dad. One of the hardest things parents face is when their child is mean, rude, or disrespectful. Your child may have always been this way, or the change in their personality might have seemingly happened overnight. Perhaps when they hit the preteen years. One day your 10-year-old loves you, loves being with you, of course. The next day, they are screaming, I hate you, calling you names and refusing to go anywhere with you. The words I hate you can have the power to reduce any parent to tears or anger. It can make you feel like you failed and wonder where you went wrong. Kids know that saying these words can paralyze a parent during a fight, which is why they use this tactic to get what they want. As hard as it is, try not to personalize your child's behavior, even when they say that they hate you. When you personalize things, it makes it very hard to be objective and about how to respond to your child in the moment, of course. A good thing to do when this happens is to stop, breathe, and respond with something like, we are not talking about this right now. We are talking about a different thing. Talk about what you were telling the child. You can also ask yourself, what does my child need from me right now? It might be some space, of course, or it might be for you to follow through on a consequence you issued. But remember, try not to take these words from your kids' personally. Number 5, which is the last point, how to let go. During your child is pre-adolescence and adolescence years, you are constantly confronted with the challenge of letting go. This is especially difficult if your kid seems to need to learn things the hard way. A natural part of adolescence is risk-taking, which often results into rule breaking and inappropriate behavior. It becomes extremely important as a parent to be able to disconnect from your emotional response to this misbehavior. Emotional responses include feeling guilty, embarrassed, ashamed, or disappointed. As parents, when your kids get older, you need to pull back a bit and become coaches and teachers while you let them begin to play the game of life. You might still, of course, you still love them as people, but you need to give them space to learn, space for trial and error. As painful as it is to accept, sometimes children are born to move away from their parents. There is a sense of grief that goes along with this. One final word: it's difficult for parents to figure out what is right. And the truth is, there isn't a right answer all the time. It's important to accept that there are choices to make, and that choice often comes with anxiety. Remember that you are doing the best you can and that you won't be perfect. More importantly, rather than trying to be perfect, trying to be the perfect parent, rather be a good enough parent. A good enough parent takes care of their child and tries their best. Hard situations are part of life, but these situations can help us learn and grow. You can't protect your children from everything bad that might happen to them or from the poor choices they may make, but you can help them learn from the bad situations they get themselves into. Your child will likely not thank you now for letting them struggle on their own and suffer through a consequence, but they may surprise you when they are an adult by telling you that your coaching, teaching, or limit setting made a positive difference in their life. Thank you. I hope this helped you. See you in the next video.